beautiful Stafford, Virginia, the greens and fairways are just the beginning. Discover our scenic trails, paddle our rivers, and enjoy nature's grandeur. Your taste buds will thank you as you visit our award-winning breweries and wineries. In Stafford, the history, stories, and legends of America's past are waiting to be discovered. Whether you're chasing outdoor adventure, family fun, or a place to unwind, Stafford has it all. Just off I-95 and closer than you think. Plan your visit at tourstaffordva.com. Stafford, where your story starts.
Golfin' Around is sponsored by Tour Stafford, Virginia. Team USA versus Team Scotland Amateur Golf Championships. You could win a trip to St. Andrews, Scotland. Tourism Ireland. Squares Golf Shoes.
A new kind of golf shoe. The first real balance of lightweight comfort and proven performance. More stability, more comfort, more distance. The new LT series by Squares.
Hello and welcome back to the Golfin' Around Radio Hour. I'm your host, Randy the Tank Tantlinger, the world's worst golfer. You know what? But not everybody's a bad golfer. My friend Mike May, he's pretty good. He's so good, he said, I want to go over there and golf in Ingaland. Isn't that how you pronounce it, Mike? Ingaland? 3 syllables?
It's the later the evening, the more syllables it takes.
Yeah, what do they drink? That beer Tenants over there.
They drink quite a few varieties and a large amount of it.
No, Mike, you were just over in England, but this isn't your first go around. You have roots in England, yeah?
Yes. When I was a 15-year-old teenager growing up in Indiana, southern Indiana, my parents moved us lock, stock, and barrel to Cornwall, England, England's most southwesterly county. We lived in the seaside town of St. Ives. I finished off high school over there. Dad was English, and my parents got involved in running a small seaside hotel in western Cornwall. And that's where I really developed my love affair for links golf.
Yeah, and you know, folks, listen to me clear. You cannot call a landlocked golf course in the middle of Nebraska or Oklahoma the links at Huckleberry Farms. Mike, there's one thing that you really need to be a links course. Please tell the people at home.
That would be a large body of water, usually an ocean. The golf course is actually the link between the sea and the inland. That's why all the open championship courses, St. Andrews, Muirfield, Turnberry, are all seaside links golf course, as was Royal Portrush, as will Royal Birkdale, where they're going in a couple of weeks in Southport, England.
You know, so what? If I'm nestled up against a sewage plant in Oklahoma, that doesn't qualify as a body of water?
Probably not big enough. Now, Whistling Straits, because it's next to Lake Michigan, which is a huge body of water, I think that would qualify as a links, and I think they call it that, and that's okay, as is Pebble Beach, which is right there against the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Mike, a lot of people have Ireland and Scotland on their mind, and even Wales. I was in Wales a few years ago to preview the Ryder Cup there at the Celtic Manor. England proper really isn't on people's golf destinations or bucket list. You were in Cornwall and Devon. Let's do a deep dive into the area and what your trip was like for you.
Yeah, well, actually, I flew over on Memorial Day, Monday night, the 25th of June, got to London on the 26th, picked up my rent-a-car from National and drove straight to North Devon, which is about 3 hours away. And there I stayed at the Saunton Sands Hotel and then had 2 back-to-back rounds at the Saunton Golf Club, Saunton, on the east and west courses. Those courses are and it's a links golf course. Nick Fowler says if you put Saunton in a more highly popular area with more hotels, more parking, more restaurants, it would have hosted an Open by now.
Well, the hotel, I'm looking at the videos on YouTube right now, nestled right up against the Atlantic Ocean with some tremendous views. I love that pool they have overlooking the ocean. Did you have a few cocktails and get in that pool?
I jumped in the pool and I had a few beers, and the view, you're looking out from a lofty perch down to Saunton Sands Beach. It's spectacular. At a low tide, it's a humongous beach. And again, the Saunton Golf Club is less than a mile down the road from the hotel, so it's an ideal location. Food is spectacular. The views second to none. They have an indoor pool and an outdoor pool. I swam in both. And Saunton East is the beast. Saunton West is the best.
We got a pool and a pond. Pond's good for you, Mike.
That's it.
What a beautiful area. And again, folks, England, you think Scotland and Ireland, but the great game we love, there's plenty of great golf in England as well. Mike, let's break down the two courses there in Saunton. What's so special about them? What sticks in your mind? What are their signature holes?
Well, they really don't have signature holes there. I don't know why. They just don't. Every hole's got a different name. The one thing about Saunton that I found appealing is you don't hear any cars, buses, planes, people. It's like serenity out there. It's just so peaceful. And you're at one with nature. And it gets 36 holes. If you're a member there, you're blessed to have two great courses to play throughout the year. They do play 12 months a year down there at Saunton. And but you've got to be very creative. Once you're within 80 yards of the greens, and often most of the greens are open at the front, so you can do a bump and run up to the greens. Most of the greens are raised. If you have false fronts, they're well bunkered, and it's just a place where you really got to open your mind about how you're going to play shots, play holes. Be aware of the wind. Be aware of the bounce. The fairways are rather hard that I have played because there'd been really no rain for a while. So it's conventional wisdom does not apply when you play links golf courses. You have to play the conditions of the day, whether it's wind, moisture, or whatever. And that makes every round truly different.
There's no doubt about it, Mike, and I love links golf. I'm a high handicapper on a Parkland golf course. There's something about a links course where imagination, which I have a lot of that, I can tell you, imagination comes into shot making. I know you agree with that. Explain that to the listeners, Mike, how your imagination is so important to read the dunes and the undulations that are so unconventional.
Well, I think in many cases, because most links courses do have a direction of wind every day, by keeping that ball low, you're rather than a high pitch, you're exposing the ball less to the environment, and the more you can keep that ball on the ground, the better off you are, especially when you've got a back pin position. You've got all that bit of the green. And as the day goes on, you understand the nuances of the golf course and the bounces, and you become quite proficient at it. Now, on a day where there's no wind, if there's ever such a day, then you can consider a high pitch. But the ground could be so hard that, just like when Tom Watson played at Turnberry in 2009 and had that approach on the 72nd hole that bounded through the green, he just got a bad hop because that green was so hard and ended up losing the playoff to Stuart Sink.
Yeah, folks, as Mike said, it's a sand base. It's that sand that links the ocean to the inland. And of course, it being sand, it's a little harder. They do play golf 12 months a year because the rain goes right through it. But I absolutely love the run shots, Mike. I was just playing last Friday with a couple of longtime buddies, and my one buddy who's new to golf kept, hitting some low shots. Then he'd get a 30, 40-yard run, and in his mind, he was like, that stinks. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's golf, man, running the ball up there. Who cares if it ran 30 or 40 yards closer to the green, And that aspect of the game, I think a lot of Americans in particular miss, that the roll is part of the game. and use it, treasure it that you got 25 to 40 yards roll.
I agree. So many American golf courses are rather lush around the green, and so that makes a run-up shot a little more difficult because the ball can get caught in that greenside frog hair, for the lack of a better term. But over in England and Ireland and Scotland, generally speaking, links golf courses at the opening part of a hole, it's fairly open. All the trouble is to the side and the back. You don't want to go through, as we noticed at Shinnecock this past weekend at the U.S. Open. There was always trouble with the back of the greens going down those slopes.
Talking with Mike May, good buddy of mine. I won't call us old buddies because that dates us by our age. Listening to the Golfin' Around Radio Hour with Randy the Tank Tantlinger, joined by Mike May. Mike makes pilgrimages over to England. His family had a hotel there, and he loves England, and he's always talking to me, Tank, you got to come with me to England. It's unlike Scotland and Ireland. Well, up the road from Saunton is Devon. Am I saying it right? Devon?
You are. It's the Royal North Devon Golf Club, England's oldest links golf course, established in 1864.
Say that again? That's amazing.
Yeah, 1864. They founded Royal North Devon. There was a local reverend who founded the course, and five-time British Open champion J.H. Taylor grew up there. In fact, there's a memorial to Taylor on the golf course. And what makes Royal North Devon so unique, besides its age, it's on a huge piece of property, most of which is not used for the golf course. And you have sheep and wild horses grazing in the rough, unprotected. They don't get in the way. And they do meander into the fairway at night and eat the grass in the fairway. So they don't have to cut the grass at Royal North Devon.
Amazing. And it is a links course, too, perched right up against the Atlantic.
It's about 30-minute drive away from Saunton. So on the 2 days I was there, the first day I played Saunton West, and then the next morning Saunton East, and then afternoon went down to play Royal North Devon.
Oh, wow. What a trip. What a trip, Mike. And what stood out about Royal North Devon to you?
I just love its purity. It's raw, rugged golf. It's a very flat golf course. There's not much of a hill on that golf course. And again, the wind impacts your decision making, not only the strength of the wind, but the direction of the wind. And generally speaking, most golfers realize if there's a lot of wind, that ball goes away in the air. The wind can play games with it. But the lower you keep that ball to the ground, what we call a wind cheater, then the less exposed you are to the influences of Mother Nature. So
no, Mike, what does the R&A rules say if I hit a sheep and the ball bounces off the sheep and into the hole?
That's okay. Now, if your ball hits a sheep and it falls in the sheep droppings, you get a free drop at Royal North Devon.
I set you up for that one.
Yeah, and I would recommend. Some people like to lick their golf ball to clean it. I wouldn't.
No. Folks, if you don't know, don't stick a tee or ball in your mouth. They use, sheep droppings in Devon, but in America, we got things called chemicals they put on a golf course. Don't stick a tee or a ball in your mouth.
Yeah. But generally speaking, you'll hear the sheep do a little baa, but the horses are quiet. But I remember when I walked up, there were sheep and horses walking across the front, maybe 20 yards in front of the first tee. It's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Now, Mike, it looks like number 10 and 11 are nestled right up against the ocean there. How much was the wind in play for you that day?
It was a very windy day, and fortunately, the sand dunes really block your vision of the sea, but you can hear the surf pounding on the ground, and you feel that wind. And wind was definitely a big factor. Sometimes you're hitting a sand iron from 160 yards because you're downhill, and sometimes you're hitting driver into a 180-yard hole because the wind's in your face. So you really have to understand what is a 1 club, 2 club, or even a 3 club wind.
Yeah, it is amazing. And again, folks, if you've never truly played a links golf course, you will either hate it or love it, in my opinion. I absolutely love links courses. Mike, we head over to Ireland and Scotland every April to film Golfing Around and take Team USA events over there. And maybe one of these days we're going to have to get down into the Devon area and explore with you.
That would be awesome. Another thing about links golf courses, very rarely do you find a tree growing on a links golf course.
Yeah,
it's not that they don't.
There's no tree
they don't-
unless they planted it there.
Yeah, because the wind suppresses the growth of the tree. So wind dictates whether a tree can grow or not. And if it does grow, it has to be well inland. But generally speaking, there's not one tree on the premises of Royal North Devon. So there's no issues with hitting the ball into the woods.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Mike, always a pleasure to speak with you. Folks, when we come back to Golfing Around, one of our other good Golfing Around buddies, Fred Altvader, Mike knows Fred, we're going to head down to Alabama, Roll Tide, to talk about some of the recent golf courses Fred was playing on. Mike, I wish you well this weekend. Happy 4th of July. God bless America.
Indeed. Same to you. It's a pleasure. Love talking golf with you, and let's do it again soon.
Oh, absolutely.